All right, I am back with another episode of Shadow Work Journal. If this is your first time, what's up? My name is Aurelia Wynn. I am a author publisher who is growing a book publishing company while I have been on this healing journey. And let me tell you what, doing the shadow work series has been so phenomenal for my own personal growth and healing and just exploring these different areas. And so I hope that this has been serving you as well. So far, we have gone over, let me look. By the way, I am using a book called Shadow Work Journal Illuminating the Dark Side of Your Psyche. It's by Luna and Soul. This is not endorsed or sponsored or anything like that by them. I just found them and oh my god, this book is wonderful. They have 63 different exercises. And so if you're someone that is looking to do some shadow work, or if you're just someone that's looking for journaling prompts, and you are on a healing journey as well, and you are looking to do some journaling as well, I highly recommend that you snag this book. At the end of this live, I will update it with links. You can also go back and check out some of the other videos that I've posted if you are watching this live. Otherwise, it will be there in the description below. Also, if you're not following me yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, with doing this shadow work, I have gotten so much clarity. And I'm really just excited about continuing this series. And so far we've talked about playing small, we've talked about emotional suppression, we've talked about self-love and gratitude, we talked about self-confidence, and last week on Sunday we talked about culture. And today we are talking about money. So let's go ahead and get into it. I would say it's still the beginning of the year. It's February 22nd, 2023 when I am doing this. And so I know a lot of people are getting their tax refund money in. If you get that, I know people are getting it this week and things like that. So let's go ahead and talk about money. It's always a good time to talk about money. So let's go ahead and do it today. So this is actually exercise 62 in the book. I am doing them out of order on purpose. I'm just kind of going with whatever my heart desires for the night. And so this particular one, I assume that there's two parts because it says part one. Okay, yeah, there's three parts. There's three parts. Okay. So we'll do part one tonight, and then on Sunday, we'll do part two, and then next week, Wednesday, we'll do part three. So absolutely, you're going to want to subscribe and hit the little bell so that way you don't miss out on these parts. Okay, so part one, it says, let's explore the shadows lurking underneath your relationship with money. Answer the following questions below. Try not to think about your responses too much. Just let them flow out of you naturally. And this has 4 questions listed that I can see. It says, 1, when I lack money, So when you lack money, what is it that you do? And then the next question is, when I have lots of money, When you have a lot of money, what do you do? When someone asks me for money, When someone asks for money, what do you do? And then the next question is, when the topic of money arises in my relationships, what is it that you do? And it says, once you have journaled about these questions, do some analysis. Do any of your responses trigger feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, anger, or general discomfort? If so, put an asterisk next to the words, sentences, or concepts that put you on edge. Perhaps you will discover that you hoard, waste, or ignore money. You might even find that money is tied with your self worth more than you thought. Whatever your asterisk reveals, whatever you asterisk reveals your money. Shadows. Whew. Yeah, yeah. And this is good, right? And so I'm even thinking about this for myself. When I lack money, what is it that I do? How is it that I feel? When I have lots of money, what is it that I do? How is it that I feel? When someone asks me for money, what is it that I do? Or how do I feel when the topic of money arises in my relationships? What is it that I do? Or how do I feel? And in full transparency, I will share, for me, sometimes I kind of ignore it until it's time for me to do something with it. I'm not even going to lie to you. In particular, in specifically answering the question, when the topic of money arises in my relationships, I ignore. I ignore. And something that I've learned in therapy, now out of therapy for a little over a year, is that I do that in a lot of, not a lot, in different areas of my life. I will just dismiss it, I will ignore it, and I will procrastinate, and I will deal with it later. And absolutely, I can see how that is tied with my self worth. Why don't I deal with the issue when it arises, or why don't I deal with it when I am alerted to it? What is it? Is there a fear there? And I say that because I believe that there is a fear there somewhere. And so for me tonight, I'm going to sit with that. I'm really going to sit with that. I'm really going to take my time to answer these questions. And then I'm just going to love on myself. Okay. Self-love. That's another thing, that I love about this particular, shadow work journal, is that they give you tips like, hey, listen, this is some heavy stuff, and you probably need to be giving yourself lots of self-care, lots of attention, because it is heavy. It brings up things about yourself that you may not like, and things that you should actually keep private. And so that's why I don't answer. I did in the first one, baby. If you go look at the first video from this series, you will see I was very much triggered. And I just thought, you know what? Let's listen. Let's not be hard-headed. Let's listen to what the advice in the book, which says, keep this information private, because it is exposing you essentially. And so although I do want to be helpful and I do want to offer tools of healing, and for me healing is just more moments of wellness, I do want to offer this to you, but I also want to be aware of myself, right? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I also want to protect myself. I don't want to just put myself out there like that, because yeah, you just never know. And so that's part one. That's actually a lot. So I hope that, like I said, that this has served you. We have two more parts to go with this. I really want you to take time. If you have to, rewind, pause, and answer the questions. I actually have a special notebook for my shadow work, and this is it. It's called Dear Shadow. It's available at MissWin.com. I have all of my shadow work in my journal, because again, they say keep this private, and so I have it separate from my other journals, because that's just how I like to do things. And yeah, so let me know how your shadow work has been going. We have some work to do. This is the year. This is the year. And if you have been doing these different shadow work prompts with me, I know I see that a couple people have been viewing these videos. If you've been doing some of the shadow work with me, I would love to hear what your experience has been. In the comments below, let me know how it's working out for you. And if you have any questions, let me know as well. And I will love to answer your questions. Other than that, that's all I have for tonight. I will be back here with another episode of Shadow Work Journal Prompts on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do these on Sundays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And usually now they've been about 10-15 minutes. And so set your reminders and join me. All right, I will see you